Welcome to the Oscar installment of Vocab Wednesday. It's not quite the Oscars, me wearing only my Magoosh shirt, nothing too fancy. So what we got here are words pertaining to Best Picture nominations. So maybe you've seen some of the movies, maybe you haven't seen any of them. I promise no spoilers. Let's start with Birdman. Great movie. I really enjoyed it. It takes place in New York. Again, I'm not going to give any spoilers here. Michael Keaton's the main character, and he's under a lot of stress and super midlife crisis, and so he starts imagining cuckoo things. It's right at the beginning of the movie. He hears this voice that keeps talking, like this baritone at him. And it's, I guess, his ego, his superego, his id, who knows what. But the idea is he starts imagining things and seeing things that aren't really there and believing that he has control over things that he actually doesn't have control over. And so this is an example of him being chimerical. Chimerical is you have fanciful notions of the way things work. So, for instance, something falls down, hits some guy on the head. In Michael Keaton's warped mind, at least that of the characters, he thinks, oh, I didn't like that guy, so I made that magically fall down. And so again, something not based in reality, it's just this fanciful notion in your head. It comes from the noun chimera, and the adjective is chimerical. Next, the word is verisimilitude. Really cool word and pertaining to a really awesome movie that I watched a few months ago called Boyhood. If you haven't seen it, definitely go see it. It's not special effects, blow your mind kind of movie. It just captures life and the experience of growing up so accurately. I walk away from that theater thinking, wow, I knew that character. I lived his life with him. It's mind-blowing. Point is, and what I'm getting at is the idea that it's so close to reality. It's like you weren't even watching a movie. What verisimilitude means is having a very high degree of reality. It's like the real deal. Like video games these days, like people playing them, I watch and I think, wow, those graphics are so lifelike. It's like actual people in front of me. So the closer something is to life, again, it has verisimilitude. Great mnemonic. If something is very similar to reality, it has a lot of verisimilitude. Bam. Next word, indomitable. Someone that cannot be pushed down or defeated. This comes from the movie Selma, which details the life of MLK, Martin Luther King, as it pertains to the boycotts and the defiance in Selma, Alabama. Or is it Mississippi? It doesn't matter. I think it's Alabama. The point is that Martin Luther King was not someone you could just push down. He was able to single-handedly really make the civil rights movement turn it into reality with his spirit and his leadership ability. So this is definitely kind of a Martin Luther King word as much as this is a word pertaining to the movie Selma itself. Bam! Final word, Martinet. I'll tell you what it means and see if you can guess which picture I'm thinking of. This is a hard one though. A Martinet is a strict disciplinarian. It comes from some guy in the French army couple hundred years ago who was really hardcore, probably made everyone do a bunch of jumping jacks and push-ups, and I was going to say jump out of planes. They didn't have planes back then, but probably jump out of trees or something. So someone who's a really harsh, mean teacher describes the movie Whiplash, which is about a drumming prodigy who goes to a musical school. And there the teacher, seeing this boy's talent, doesn't actually nurture it in the usual sense. So again, no spoilers, but he really pushes this young man to the brink emotionally because he's such a hard teacher and so intense. And so, of course, the movie is about that dynamic. And so this man, forgot the actor's name though, is a Martinet, a very harsh disciplinarian figure. And bam, there we have it. No fancy dresses and balls and after parties, but we do have a lot of fun words, and I'll see you next week.